Okay, so let's take a look. First page, milmidstudios.com. Then we have the title page. We're not going to go through the whole page, obviously there's over 100 pages, but just wanted to get an idea. Oh man, that's really nice. All right guys, let's get right into the tutorial. So as you can see in this folder, I have my book cover. In this folder, I have the selected photos. So I highly recommend that before getting started in your photo book project, one of the first steps for you to do is to select the images that you want to put inside of the photo book. Now I have several images here. Not all of them made it in, but most of them did. The more photos you have, the more incumbent it is on you to actually organize, like for example, maybe number these 1, 2, 3, 4, so you know what place they're going to be in the photo book. It just makes it easier when it comes to selecting and placing the photos if you do that work beforehand. Here is an actual PDF of the photo book that I created. We can get into this shortly, but today we're going to focus on utilizing InDesign, the program, to build your photo book, export your photo book, and then import it into KDP for publishing on the Amazon platform. So let's go ahead and open up InDesign. Now, one of the benefits of using the KDP platform is that there is no upfront cost required. However, with this method that I'm using, there is an upfront cost because I'm using Adobe InDesign, which is a monthly subscription-based program to help me in creating this photo book. Now, I know for some it may not be worth it to subscribe to InDesign if you only plan on publishing 1 or 2 photo books a year, but I believe InDesign does give you a free trial, a 7-day free trial that you can use to make your first photo book. And if it works for you and if you enjoy it, if you see yourself using it long term, then you can subscribe if it's worth it to you. So before we start an actual new program, I just wanted to kind of show you what this finished product looks like. So this side panel shows you all of your pages. Like I said, this is one that I completed. 105 pages. So the more pages you have, obviously, you're going to want to number your pictures so you know where and what position they're going to be at in your photo book. Now, if you want to go to a certain page quickly, you just double click. This is a full page spread that I have here. I thought this was a pretty cool picture, a little gritty, out of focus. I really do like it. But we're going to go right to the top and I'll show you. We'll kind of scroll through the photo book and you can see my format. As you can see, you can utilize full page spreads. I generally, for my photo books, I like to do either full page spreads or 1 photo per page in a rectangular format. You can do big square if you want, but like I said, this is going to be how I do my photo books. All of my photo books are at 8.5 by 8.5 format, so a square photo book. So you can just take a look. For this photo book, I'm not going to number the pages, but I'll explain to you how you can do that in an easy way if you have a bunch of photos. You get the point. Okay, and then my last page is going to be just MLMDST, Moments in Light, Moments in Darkness. Okay, so you kind of get an idea of what it looks like, the finished product. So essentially what you're going to do when you open InDesign is you're going to start a new file. Now, these are the settings that I use for my photo books. Take a look. Feel free to pause if you'd like. Like I said, 8.5 inches width, 8.5 inches height. This coincides with the formats that I use in KDP. Now, initially I had 70 pages, but as you guys saw, you can adjust it to how many ever pages you need. And when you're in the program, you could actually add or subtract pages. So like I said, feel free to screenshot or pause, do whatever you need to do. We have 70 pages here. If you want to add pages, all you have to do is right click on your PC or 2-finger click on your Mac, and then you could insert pages and just say I wanted to add 30 more pages, insert after page 70, then essentially you'll see here it added 30 more pages. Now, if you want to delete these photos, all you have to do is click, hold the shift button, and then click where you want to delete the photos up to, and then you can right click or two finger click and just click on delete pages. Just that simple. I'm a simple guy, so things that I like to do tend to be pretty simple. So we're going to go to the first page. And like I said, I usually like to start off MILMID Studio. So we have the type tool. Matter of fact, before we even start typing, one thing that I tend to like to do with the layout is make guides. So you can preview them here, but just say, we'll kind of play it by ear. I'll say 4 and 6. Let's see what that looks like. That's a little too many. I think usually what I do is 4 and 3. Yes, I think that looks about right. Press OK. And that's kind of like what I like to work with for my guides. So we have the type tool selected. We'll select anywhere here and we'll say just milmidstudios.com. I'd go to properties, and then in the properties you have like your indentation, your paragraph. Then you can increase the font size. So just say you want 24, and then we'll change the font. I mean, we'll do it to whatever. We'll do Komu. Looks pretty cool. I then select the select tool. So you can kind of drag this wherever you want. And as you get to the center point, see that pink line that just appeared down the middle and horizontally, that kind of shows you where center is. So this is actually a good teaching point because as you guys can see on this first page, I have the guides that I set up. But on the second, third, and subsequent pages, there are no guides. So how do we rectify that without having to click on each page and then manually choose the layout and create guides? You'll see that there's this Pages tab, and there's a parent. It says a parent. Now, essentially what these parent pages are, they're essentially the master pages. So whatever settings or functions you apply to these pages apply to every page. So now that I have these selected, I'm going to go to Layout, Create Guides. What did I have? I think it was 4 and 3. Okay. So as you can see, the parent pages have those guides that I created. So now if I go back, every single page has those guides. That applies for any setting that you do. If you apply page numbers or any other settings to these parent pages, they will apply to the rest of the document. So to add a photo, now my method, as you guys saw, is that I like to either do a full spread, like so, and then you could either import an image right here, or if you have a window open, you can actually drag the photo directly into this box. So we're going to import the image. I'm going to go to selected photos and just say we want, let's say we want this photo. Open. So now that the photo is placed, you have a few options when it comes to fitting the photo within the frame. What I tend to do is right click, fitting, and I click on fill frame proportionally. So this is getting better. If, for example, you clicked on fit content proportionally, then essentially it won't fill out the entire page like how I want to. Obviously, the photo has its own aspect ratio that doesn't really coincide with the settings that I have in this project. So what I tend to do is click on fit frame proportionally, and then you can utilize this little circle in the middle to adjust the picture. Now you have to be careful here because as you adjust the picture, you're going to see that this side of the margin isn't really filled. So I'm going to actually stretch it out just like that. So as you can see on the left-hand side of the screen and on the top end of the screen, there's this ruler. It coincides with the placement and position of your cursor. This allows you to get consistent framing every single time on every single page. But what also helps with this is the guides that I set up, because essentially for my one photo per page setup, I like to select the top left corner right where this guide meets the end of the page, bring it down to the bottom right corner of the guide. And this is essentially the frame that I use for the one photo per page. Now I'm going to import an image. We're going to import this one, open. And like we showed you before, you're just going to right click or two finger click if you have a Mac. I'm just going to say right click for the duration of this video. And then you're going to fill frame proportionally. And there you have it. So any adjustments you want to make to the composition of this image, you can use the selection tool by pressing V or clicking right on this tool here, or you can use the direct selection tool or shortcut A. So just say I want to change the composition of this image and I want to bring the car a little bit closer, a little bit more zoomed in for whatever reason. I have the direct selection tool activated. I click on the image, and then with these guides, I'm going to adjust the photo how I want. And I'm going to move the photo within this frame just like that. So for the next photo, what we're going to do, we're going to press F. We're going to landmark the guide like we did on this image just so it's consistent. Bring it down just like that. We're going to import another image. What's another good one? We'll do this guy right here. Right click, fitting, fit frame proportional. I like that just the way it is. And there you have it. So we went over the full page spread, which I like to scatter through my photo books, and then the one photo per page, just a basic rectangle image. You can do a full square if you'd like, but obviously depending on how you shoot, what aspect ratio you shoot in, if you are okay with a square crop, especially in this format, 8.5 by 8.5, you can feel free to do that. In this case, just so we can see what it looks like, we're going to click on these guys and we'll adjust the composition. Way more zoomed in than I'd want. So I'm going to click on the direct selection tool and kind of bring it in a little bit more. So there are limitations when it comes to using this program and then this aspect ratio, but it can work. And this is what I've used for my photo books, and I've quite liked it. I continue to use this program. So just say you want to add some writing to your book. It's as simple as using the type tool. I would select the entire page, and then you can go back to properties to adjust your paragraph settings, your alignment, and such. You can put introduction. And you could essentially, just like that, type out your introduction. So just along your way, if you're like, you know what, I think that this photo actually needs to be right here. All you have to do is drag and drop. Drag this photo right here. And just like that, you've switched the positions of the photos. It's very intuitive, very simple. And that's essentially all the formatting you need. Your imagination is the only limitation when it comes to creating your photo books. My photo books are pretty conservative in terms of formatting. It's a format that I've just enjoyed using. So like I said, I have my website, a photo, the introduction, goes into the title page, and then I start the photos. Full spread is how I usually like to start my photo books, and then you kind of go into different images. So just say this is your photo book, you're happy with the way that it turned out. The next step that you're going to do is you're going to go to File, you're going to Export, and then you're going to select where you want your photo book to export. You can change the name to Bobby's Photo Book. And just for the heck of it, to get to the next screen, we're going to save it to this Sebring folder. You're going to click on Save. Format is going to be PDF. It's important for utilizing KDP. Now we're getting to this export page, and just take a look, take a screenshot if you want. These are the settings that I've used for compression, marks and bleeds. For output, I tend to use no color conversion. I tend to like how the colors come out when I utilize this setting. And as you can see, when you scroll over the settings at the bottom, there's a description and will help you understand exactly what you're adjusting. So those are my output settings. Advanced, I don't really mess around with these. Security and summary. So when you click export, you go to the file location, and here it is, the Sebring Photo Book PDF. Now this is the one that I actually made, and essentially it's a PDF document with each page You guys can read that later. With each page as created in InDesign. It's an actual PDF document. So my full page spreads, they look a little funky when it's, one page at a time. But when you put it together, that's when the magic happens. You guys get a little sneak peek, but definitely pick up this photo book. I like this. I actually caught the flames coming out of this Porsche. Super cool capture. I think 2 Porsches I caught the flames shooting through. Yeah, this one right here. Really neat. Okay, so this is the dashboard for my Kindle Direct Publishing profile. Now this is where all of your books show up. So as you can see, we have Japan 35 through 35, which is live paperback. You have pricing and the ASIN number. I'll show you how to get that. Timeless, my most recent photo book. Seattle Exposed, which is like a 16-page zine. And then Sebring, a photo book of the 73rd Sebring 12-hour race. So we're going to actually utilize this setup just for the sake of this tutorial to show you the screens and how to navigate through them. Now, by the time this video is up, this photo book will be live on my website, on Amazon. So if you want to support, be sure to pick it up, and also a thumbs up on this video is greatly appreciated. So we have 3 headings: paperback details, paperback content, and then paperback rights and pricing. I haven't started this just yet. So language, we have English. Title, this is where I put the title. You have the option of making a subtitle. Series, you can add it to a series. Not applicable for me. Edition, I have it as edition number 1. Author, I'm putting my name, and then contributors, you have photographer, author, editor, foreword, illustrator, introduction, narrator, preface, translator, contributions by. Because this is a photo book, all I really need is photographer, and this is completely optional if you want to add that. Description, I just have a description over here. Like I said, this is my very first photo book using the R3. Every other photo book has been the Leica M11P, but I'm so happy with how the R3 performed on this trip. So you'd add your description here. I may add on to this, but just for the sake of this tutorial, this is what I have here. The more information, the better. Publishing rights, you want to ensure you click on this if you do own the copyright and necessary publishing rights for this. If it's public domain work, you're obviously going to click there. Primary audience. Now, for a photo book, I mean, it's not in my wheelhouse to make this sort of explicit material, but make sure that you're accurate in selecting yes or no. This is a photo book covering a racing event, so obviously the answer is no here. And then a reading age, you can actually select from baby to 18 plus. It is optional. I just left this as it is. So the primary marketplace, this is essentially what they say here. Choose the location where you expect the majority of your book sales. I have Amazon.com, but you can choose from these different websites. So for categories, as you can see here, this is what I selected for this book. Edit categories. It's pretty simple, just drop down menus, and then you select what is applicable to the content of your book. Once you're done, you can save categories, you can remove, you can edit anytime. And this doesn't apply for me in this case, but I'm guessing for like a low content book, it's something like, they have examples here, a journal and notebook that a lot of people make and they have great success on Amazon making, or a large print book. This is neither. This is just a simple photo book. And then you can have your keywords. I guess this is something like SEO. You can have your keywords. So I have Sebring, photography, motorsports, supercars, hypercars, Sebring 12-hour, and race cars. For release date, you have the option of releasing your book now or scheduling a book release. So we're going to go save and continue. Now to get your very own ISBN number, all you have to do, it's very simple, especially if you're selling this book only on Amazon. You just click this button, this yellow button. It's kind of grayed out now because I already clicked it previously and obtained my ISBN, but literally it's as simple as clicking this button and then Amazon or KDP automatically assigns you an ISBN number. Okay, so now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of print options. For this case, premium color is what you want to do. This is a photo book. I think you'd want to go with the premium color. You want the sharpest, you want the best, the most crisp and vibrant colors you can get. Now, the trim size, based on the settings that I showed at the beginning of this video, this is the trim size that I selected, 8.5 by 8.5. Now you can select a different size, but that will also change the settings that you use in InDesign. So make sure that whatever you select, whatever you're trying to make, it coincides with what they offer here on KDP. Now, there's another caveat because you can also do hard copy books, and the options for sizing that you get for hard copy differ from soft. For my use case, the soft cover book at 8.5 by 8.5 work for me. It's all I've really experimented with, but feel free to dig in and see what you can create. Bleed settings, I have it set to no bleed. And then paperback cover finish, you can select either matte or glossy. I choose matte for all my photo books. Glossy I find is like a fingerprint magnet. It is vibrant, it is nice, but just personally, I think the matte is a bit sharper. So remember that PDF that we exported from InDesign? This is where you're going to upload it. So you're going to click on upload, and then you're going to essentially select the PDF file, .pdf. So wherever you save that exported file from InDesign, that's what you're going to select. You're going to upload it. Once everything is good and you get that check mark, you're good to go. If there's an error, then it would essentially just tell you what the error is, and you just have to rectify that before you try to re-upload. Now, for a cover photo, you can either use KDP's generic cover photos, which I think are pretty bad, or you can create your own in Photoshop. Now, I'm no Photoshop genius. I'm actually a pretty big noob when it comes to Photoshop, but this is what I created in Photoshop, and it worked for me. It's pretty simple. Sebring, a photo book of the 73rd Sebring 12-hour race, Jamil Ali. I selected my photo, exported, and Bob's your uncle. Then you have a section for AI generated content. This doesn't apply to me, but if you're doing a photo book on AI generated content, or you're using an AI platform to create images that you want to publish, then obviously you're going to select yes. Now, once you have your manuscript checked and your cover checked, you're going to be able to launch a previewer. So essentially, this is a quality check of your book, making sure everything's lined up, making sure that the pages look okay, the full spreads are okay, and you essentially can go through your book. Now, on KDP, obviously, this is the spine of the book. So it's not like a lay flat in some of those premium photo books where it's like completely flat when you open it. There is a crease, so keep that in mind for photos where you actually have some content or important content in the center. It may be, a distraction when you get the photo book. We'll have to see when we get ours. But just say you go through the entire photo book, you approve of the product, you click on approve. It'll cost you about $10 US to print your book. That's not involving any profits or anything like that. So for territories, all territories, worldwide rights, you can ship your book anywhere in the world. The primary marketplace we selected is Amazon, and now pricing and royalties. So Amazon.com, if you price your book at $20, printing costs $9.40 US. And the rate, you can read here, this is the royalty rate you'll earn for each sale based on the book's list price. The royalty rate varies based on a distribution channel. So at 60% royalty rate, your royalty is $2.60 per book. Okay? Now, what you have to take into consideration is that Amazon is printing and shipping this book. You're not stocking anything. So it is a very intuitive, easy, stress-free way of doing photo books. But you also want to price your book in such a way where you do get compensated for your work and your photography. So for this 105-page book, I'm probably going to price this $25. So pricing this book at $25 US gives me $5.60 USD in royalties per book. So before you go live with your book, I highly recommend that you request a book proof. So when you click on request proof, you're going to want to save your work. And this allows you to get a not for sale copy. So there's usually on the face of the book, it says not for sale. but it essentially allows you to have your photo book that you created in your hand, and you can kind of look through it to see what the consumer will get. If you're good with it, once you place your order, then you can actually publish your book and make it go live. So right now, as I edit this, I'm waiting for my book to come. It's going to come in about 2 days. And then, like I said, when this video goes live, the book will also be live. So you can actually select up to 5 books order quantity for your proof copies. You can select the marketplace of your order. Since I am in Canada, it would be amazon.ca, and then you submit proof request. So essentially, you're going to click on submit proof request, and then you get this message saying that within 4 hours of submitting your request, we will set up your proof copy and you will receive an email with a link to complete your proof order. Now, what happens in my experience, it only takes about 15 minutes, and then I check my Amazon account that's linked to KDP, and then the book is in my shopping cart and I just check out. So that's usually what happens when I go through getting my proof copy. Once everything looks good, you get your copy and you're good to go, then you could publish your paperback book. And when it is live, you will see that it says live in green under paperback. In this case, for this book, it is only a draft right now. But like I said, when this video is live, be sure to check out www.milmidstudios.com, and you'll be able to get a link to my library where any of these books are available for purchase. All right, guys, 2 days later, the package has arrived. This is going to be an unboxing that we're going to do. This photo book, by the time you guys see this video, is going to be live. www.milmidstudios.com, or you can just type in the name of the book in your Amazon search bar. Thank you guys so much for your support. Hopefully this video helped you out. Let's take a look. This is exciting, as always. This is definitely my thickest book yet. Oh my gosh. You can feel the heft. You can even see the heft compared to, say, Timeless is my second thickest book. And you can kind of see the difference there. Wow. This looks great. The front cover looks really good. Really like how it turned out. So as you guys will see here, on your proof copy that you get, it will say not for resale. You can get author copies, which allows you to pay for the cost of the printing for the book, and then you can sell them privately or on your own for whatever you charge for your book. So that's one way that you can kind of stock up on inventory. So really happy about how the matte finish came out for the front cover. Okay, so let's take a look. First page, milmidstudios.com. You guys could read that when you get it. You could read it when you get it. Then we have the title page. We're not going to go through the whole page. Obviously, there's over 100 pages, but just wanted to get an idea. Oh man, that's really nice. Really like how that turned out. And as you can see, I didn't use any color conversions, and it came out just the way that I want it to. We're gonna just flip through some pages. Let's go to, oh, this is one of my favorites. This BMW is sick. Really, really like how this print turned out, guys. Wow. I'm really happy about this. Oh my gosh. Super cool. Now I want to go to one of my favorite pictures. This one right here. Super nice. Now, like I said before, this isn't a lay flat book. So with a premium photo book, when you open the pages, there's no break in the crease. But because, you know, we're using KDP, it's not really maximized or optimized for photo books per se. You're gonna see there's a little crease in here, a little break in the photo, but super nice. I really like it. If you guys want a copy, be sure to visit milmidstudios.com, pick up a copy. Hopefully this was beneficial to you guys. All right, guys, I'm trying to vlog with the R3 and a 28, and my arm is dying. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that you're able to garner something from this. If you guys do make a photo book, I would love to be your first purchase. DM me at MILMID Studios on Instagram. Send me a link, send me the title, and I would love to support you guys' work. If you're able to do the same for me, that would be greatly appreciated, and it will go towards supporting this channel. If you guys need any help along the way with InDesign, leave a comment on this video, and myself and the community we'll do our best to help you out so that you can make your very own photo book. Remember guys, the best gear is the gear you have, and the best photos are the ones you take. Don't forget to keep on shooting.